above. Sine magnitude binary representation. We know in the decimal system, if I want to represent a negative number, then I can say, like, for instance, I have a +1. This is a positive number. If I want to represent a negative number, I represent -1. But as we know, in any of the digital system, like your computer or mobile, we need to represent the numbers in binary systems, right? So these computers, it doesn't understand anything apart from the binary number. So basically, it in the sense, like, if you want to understand the significance of it, like when I say it's a binary number, it is able to understand either +5 voltage or 0 voltage, right? I mean, it can only understand the various voltage levels. So we need to represent these signs also in terms of binary. If I say a number, it's represented in terms of sign magnitude representation, then like plus is represented by a binary number 0 and minus is represented by a binary bit 1. So if I have a number, 2-bit number, right? 2-bit number, if I see 0, 0, then it is actually the MSB represented by the sign. So it is +0. And if I say I have a number 10, then it is actually a -0. This part is magnitude and MSB is sign. But in this case, since it's a 0, like both are like having the same value. But if I say I have a number 0, 1, then it is actually a +1. And if I have 1, 1, then it is a -1 because this represented as a magnitude and LSB bit represents the MSB bit represents a sign and LSB bit represents the magnitude. So to generalize, if I say I have a n bit number, right? So I can represent from minus to the power n minus 1 minus 1 to the power n minus 1 minus 1 values. In our above case, this particular case, we had taken just 2 bits. So n will become 2. I can represent minus 2 power 2 minus 1 minus 1 to 2 power 2 minus 1 minus 1. So it is actually 2 power 0, that is 1 minus 1. 2 power 1, actually 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2 minus 1. It is actually minus 1 to plus 1. Same way, if I take 3 bits, right? So the minimum number what I can have is actually 1, 0, 0, right? I mean, that is actually -0. Same way, if I have like 1, 1, 1, that is -3 because this represents a sign and last LSB bits represents the magnitude. So in this system, like if now my n became 3, and if I substitute that value in the expression what we discussed here, this will become minus 2 power 3 minus 1 minus 1 to 2 power 3 minus 1 minus 1. This actually 2 square is 4 minus 1. That is -3 to +3 I can represent. So this way I can represent any values by making MSP as sign. So this will be very helpful for in your actual digital circuit implementation. It can be an FPGA based digital implementation. This representation you can use it in Verilog, VSDL, any of the programming language, which will help you to represent the sign magnitude.